Hi and welcome to Albatross Marine, how to check the alignment of your engine. Today we've got an A series here and it's had a change of engine and we're reverting back to the original engine, so I need to check one, how it's aligned. The other sort of defining factor is that I suspect all of the engine brackets, the mounting brackets, are slightly different. Although they were built on a jig, we're talking tiny tolerances. So the engine brackets have come from one boat, the engine's come from another, and the boat's obviously a third component. So when I put the three together, so that I don't stress the shaft and the shaft's running true, I need to know that it's all in line. So we're going to look at how we can achieve that today. So we start by looking at, we have a Climax engine in a strip bare A series, and I got a couple of holes which were there, but most of the holes we've welded up so that we can start again. You can see down here I got my tunnel with my shaft just poking out, and I'm just dry fitting stuff. So the essential tools that we need today are a set square, my top hat made in Delrin. The red tape just gives a nice tight fit, and this will slot into the tunnel, and there's a 3/4 inch hole in the centre which will accept the shaft, and it's not a tight fit but it's not a loose fit. And finally I got a bit of 1/4 inch bar. And what I'm going to do is we'll just start by showing you. So this boat is A51. Now you have two holes here. The top one is if the boat ever had a gearbox, which this boat didn't, and the bottom one is your shaft line, and you can find that in the middle of the bulkhead. And the reason for that line is that it's a sight line. If you put a piece of string through that, through the centre of the tunnel, through the centre of the P bracket, you will effectively have your centre of a crank line, if your crank was a round piece of bar effectively. So that gives us the positioning of the flywheel end of the engine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece of rod and I'm going to place it through the hole, through here, into the centre of the crankshaft. Sorry, centre of the flywheel I should say. So that's now all the way through. I'm then going to take my tunnel adapter and place that over the shaft and into the hole. And you can see here, if I move the fan blade, it's kind of difficult. Here is the drive from the engine with the keyway in it. Now I've fitted my P bracket in its position, and I'm just going to slide the shaft up. I can tell that's the back of the engine. Okay, and I'm now into the engine and I can turn it. So if we come back in here, I can now see that my shaft is in the middle of my tunnel and my shaft has slid into the back of my engine easily. Now the test is, if it's biting, it will grab in the back of the engine, in the drive. But if I can pull this out with ease, then I know it hasn't bit. So that's one. The other bit just to have a look at is just to come and have a look at the front of the cutlass bearing and just see. So this one at the moment is a little bit tight on this side, and I need to just either push the shaft that way or just turn the P bracket very slightly. I've only got 2 bolts in it, maybe a degree, so that it's neutral. My angle is good, there's no up and down forces in the front here, it's just perfecting that. Now I can either do that, as I say, by swinging the engine or just moving the P-bracket slightly. Okay, so we're just going to have a look at this rod in the front. I've got my set square, so if I come along I can now check the alignment of the engine against the set square. So we can see there almost perfect, tiny gap at the top, which I suspect is actually the rod bent. But I can pull the engine right or left, which I'll show you in a second, to change this. I then need to just check my height. And again, we can see that I'm happy with that, that's good. If I wanted to make dramatic changes to swing the engine, if I grab hold of it and pull it slightly to me, now when I come and have a look, you can see there is a gap, so it's gone out of line. Again, if I push it the other way, we've gone to the other extreme. So I now pull it back. And we're back in line. Okay. And that is how you align your engine and shaft and P-bracket. It's commonly known that in the two-bladed propellers in Albatrosses that you are likely to have imbalance. That will only be that your propeller is out of balance or that your engine shaft and P-bracket are not in line. And this is the most critical part, because if you're not in line, or your propeller is out of balance, or the final part, your shaft is not straight, you will stress the P-bracket area. And when you stress the P-bracket area, you will make the rear supports, which we have here, fail. They will crack. Now these are brand new ones because that's happened. And what it is that if you can imagine my hand is holding a shaft and the shaft is not straight or it's out of line, there is a lot of stress. If it's bent, it's trying to do this, it's trying to stop it shaking. So by doing that, you're then putting all of the pressure into this area of the boat. This will make the bottom of the boat fail, worst scenario, or the inner brackets. All of these problems are easily solved with having your prop checked for balance and pitch, your shaft checked for straightness, and just checking that your engine is in line. I hope this has been a help, and for more information go to albatrossmarine.co.uk.